India Post-Independence Remnants and Political Thoughts, letter number 19. Dear friends and sisters, I talk to His Manak and Sanghi, Bangalore, Karnataka State. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, Pamula Parthi, Venkat Narasimha Rao was the 9th Prime Minister of India from 21st June 1991 to 16th May 1996. He led this country when we need such a leadership for rescuing a bankrupt nation from economic collapse. He is often referred to as the father of economic reforms. It is said that future Prime Ministers Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Dr. Manmohan Singh continued the economic policies pioneered by during his P.V. Narasimha Rao government. When Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was an industries minister, had dismantled license Raj from the country and reversed the socialist policies of Sri Rajiv Gandhi's government. He made Dr. Manmohan Singh as his finance minister to embark on historic economic transition. Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao may be called a Chanakya for his ability to steer tough economic and political legislation through the parliament at a time when headed a minority government. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was the best Prime Minister after former Prime Minister Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri, who crafted India's post-Cold War diplomacy and economic reforms. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's knowledge of Sanskrit was profound. He did not need to discover India. He had a great knowledge in the spiritual and religious field. Once APJ Abdul Kalam described Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao as a patriotic statesman who believed that the nation is bigger than the political system. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's tenure, nuclear tests were planned to be exploded but delayed due to some reason. It had happened in Shri A.B. with Vajpayee government time. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's prime ministership time was an eventful one in India's history. He made a paradigm shift from the industrializing mixed economic model of Jawaharlal Nehru to a market-driven one. The political lapse happened during Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's regime was the destruction of the Babri Mosque in Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh, which naturally triggered Hindu-Muslim tensions in the country since independence. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was a scholar from so many angles. He had an excellent command in Telugu, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, Tamil. He has knowledge of spoken English, French, Arabic, Spanish, German, Greek, Latin and Persian. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was an active freedom fighter during the Indian independence movement and joined full-time politics after independence as a member of the Indian National Congress. Shri Rao served brief stints in the Andhra Pradesh cabinet and was Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh for 2 years, 1971 to 1973. His tenure as Chief Minister of AP is remembered for his land reforms and strict implementation of land ceiling acts in Telangana region. When the Indian National Congress split in 1969, Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao stayed on the side of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and remained loyal to her during the emergency period. He rose to national prominence in 1972 for handling several diverse portfolios, namely Home, Defence and Foreign Affairs, in the cabinet of both Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao nearly retired from politics in 1991, but his comeback to politics happened when Rajiv Gandhi, then Congress president, was assassinated by LTT in Sri Perambur, Tamil Nadu, got an opportunity to head the minority government as Prime Minister. The Congress had won the largest member of parliament seats in 1991. He was the first person outside the Nehru-Gandhi family to serve as a Prime Minister for 5 continuous years. He was the first one to hail from southern India and also the first from the state of AP. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao contested by-election in Nandyal to join the parliament. He won from Nandyal with a victory of record 5 lakhs votes and made a winning record in the Guinness Book of World Records. His cabinet included Sardar Pawar, himself a strong contender for Prime Minister's post as Defence Minister. He broke the convention by making a non-political economist as his finance minister. His economic reforms were adopted to avert impending international default in 1991. This include opening up to foreign investments, reform of capital markets, regulating domestic business and reforming the trade regime. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government reduced the fiscal deficit, privatization of public sector and increase of investment in infrastructure. Trade reforms and changes in the regulation of foreign direct investment were introduced to open India to foreign trade. These reforms in India's capital markets led to an influx of foreign portfolio investment. One, abolition of Controller of Capital Issues in 1992, which decided the prices and number of shares that firms could issue. Introduction number 2. Introduction of SEBI Act of 1992 and Securities Laws Amendment, which gave SEBI the legal authority to register and regulate all security market intermediaries. Number 3. Equity markets opening to investment by foreign institutional investors and to raise capital on international markets by issuing global depository receipts GDRs. Number 4. National Stock Exchange was established in 1994 as a computer-based trading system. The NSE emerged India's largest exchange by 1996. Number 5. Reduced tariffs from 85% to 25%, rolled back quantitative controls, and the rupee was made convertible on trade account. Number 6. Encouraging foreign direct investment by increasing the maximum limit on shares of foreign capital in joint venture from 40 to 51 with 100% foreign equity permitted by in private sectors. Number 7, streamlined procedures for FDI approvals, and at least 35 industries were eligible for automatic approvals within the limit for foreign participation. These above reforms gave good results, and he also took up industrial policy reforms with the manufacturing sector. He slashed Indian industrial licensing, leaving only 18 industries subject to licensing. Industrial regulation was rationalized. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's tenure, the military spending was increased, which helped the Indian Army on course to fight the emerging threat of terrorism in insurgencies, as well as Pakistan and China's nuclear potentials. It was during his term that terrorism in Punjab was finally defeated. It is said that aircraft hijackings occurred during Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's time ended without government conceding the terrorist demands. It was his policy not to concede to the demands of terrorists, and the action of terrorists must be condemned internationally, including by Pakistan. Shri Narasimha Rao made diplomatic overtures to Western Europe, the United States and China. He decided to bring into the open India's relations with Israel and allowed Israel to open an embassy in New Delhi. He asked the emerging intelligence community in 1992 to start a systematic drive to draw the international community's attention to alleged Pakistan sponsorship of terrorism against India, which had not discouraged him because of US favoritism to Pakistan. He launched the Look East foreign policy, which brought India closer to Asia. He kept distance from Dalai Lama in order to avoid China's suspicions and concerns, and made successful overtures to Tehran. These policies paid rich dividends for India in March 1994, when Benazir Bhutto's efforts to have a resolution passed by the UN Human Rights Commission in Geneva on the human rights situation in Jammu and Kashmir failed, with opposition by China and Iran. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao personally visited Bombay blast place and found evidence of Pakistani involvements in the blast, and asked the intelligence community of the US, UK and other Western European countries to send their counter-terrorism experts to Bombay to examine the facts for themselves. This crisis management was highly praised. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao has successfully decimated the Punjab separatist movement and neutralized Kashmiri separatist movements. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao solely took the decision to hold elections in Punjab, whatever narrow electorate participate in it. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government introduced the Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Prevention Act (TADA). This anti-terrorism legislation was helpful to Indian Army to eliminate the infiltrators. It is said tourism and commerce were largely affected. It is said that Babri Mosque dispute has arisen during Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao time. It was an unfortunate incident which has happened by the agitation of BJP to get greater political mileage on religious issue. I feel that most of the sections of society, both Hindu and Muslim, wants to live with peace, but the politicians find the ways to make advantage of this cordial relations with each other. A major strong earthquake broke out in Latur in 1993, Maharashtra, when 10,000 people were killed and hundreds of thousands were displaced. Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government used modern technology and vast resources for mobilizing to organize major relief operations to assuage the stricken people, and schemes of economic reconstruction were undertaken. This is Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, who has changed the name of the Congress party from Congress Indira to Bharatiya Rashtriya Congress, Indian National Congress, a symbolic but significant departure from one person owning up the party and to bring it back to historic roots. This was a bold step, and also to bring back its national flavor of people's pride. At last, I would say Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was the first Prime Minister who gave the freedom to Dr. Manmohan Singh, Finance Minister, to unveil the economic reform package to bail the Indian economy out of an unprecedented crisis. This means that our nation went on path of economic development and marched towards forward bigger and bigger as a developing country. Since then, we have not looked behind. Jai Hind. I humbly request you to spell the following godly words with me. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Om Shri Venkateshaya Namah. Om Shri Venkateshaya Namah. Om Shri Venkateshaya Namah. Om Shri Venkateshaya Namah.